Live from Midwest Studios in East Columbia, this is the Sticky's Cabana Podcast.
How we doing, folks? It's Sticky here with Sticky's Cabana Podcast, Season 4, Episode 2. Wow, we've been around for a little bit now. Anyway, like to introduce my guest next to us, Preston Ary. You mind telling us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, kind of what you're doing?
Yeah, so my name's Preston. I am from originally West Plains, Missouri. I moved up to Fayette, Missouri in 2012. Just played college football. Ended up having an ACL injury first week of practice. Went home for about 2 years, came back up to play again. Anyways, met my wife here at CMU. Moved to Nashville, Tennessee for a while.
That was fun, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was fun.
Big tourist thing, though, man.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
I learned a lot about that place. But anyways,
Sure.
yeah, I was there, did the songwriter thing, and then I moved back up here, and I live in Fayette right now. So
Yeah. You do a solo project? You have a band?
yes,
Yeah.
I do. So basically, when I moved to Nashville, I had it in mind that I was going to be like the singer songwriter thing, which I do, and so I still do that. I still put that predominantly first, but I have bandmates who kind of join me on board, and very talented. They're all graduates as well from Central Methodist.
Oh, there you go.
So we all went to the same school, and we all get along well, and so it kind of became a group effort. After playing together a few times.
Yeah. It sounds like a lot of fun, honestly.
Yeah.
Can you give us a style of what kind of music y'all play?
Well, right now it's pretty heavy country.
Is it?
I mean, really, it's. And it makes sense. I'm 30 years old, so when I was younger, I like listening to like Nickelback, Creed, Nirvana, all this stuff. And you're starting to see that a lot with this country stuff these days.
Yep.
It's starting to show itself from kids who are my age or guys who are my age of their influences when they were children, and it's a lot of that rock stuff. So we're kind of along that, but still trying to mix it up and make our own sound at the same time,
If you were to have to guess, a single band or something that mostly resembles y'all, what band would that be?
Ooh, I don't know. I would say probably, I don't know, similar to Co Wetzel.
Okay.
Yeah. Similar. I have more of a rock voice, though.
Yeah.
I got more grit. But, I would say similar to that to a degree.
Okay.
And then with a little bit of modern stuff, too, like I don't like to compare myself to Bailey Zimmerman, but I guess I can. Yeah. I've been told that a lot, so I guess I can use that as a comparison.
Yeah, fair enough there.
So. Yeah.
So, like, whose musicians out there are your biggest influences on everything?
Musician-wise?
Yeah.
So I'm going to be honest, I was never really much into the musicianship until recently. I was more of the songwriting.
Yeah.
That's what I really pride myself on, is being able to write really good songs. And as far as the musicianship goes, I was never really a part of that because I didn't really take it as a serious thing.
Yeah.
But working with the guys in my band, they're such grade A musicians, they've kind of forced me to think that way.
Okay.
And I would say, like, I don't know, I don't really have a specific musician that I really enjoy, I've always enjoyed. I have a new respect for it, where if I hear something, I'm like, wow,
Yeah, I get that way a lot.
Especially now that I've become like a multi-instrumental person.
Yeah.
But I hear things that I can't do, I'm just, blown away. So it's more of I have a respect for all musicians.
Yeah.
You can definitely tell one who's put in the time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And then another thing that you have your record label.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I started my record label in 2020 with my friend David Atkinson, and really we didn't have there was never really a plan. What I'm trying to say is it was never planned. It was one of those things where it was the beginning of COVID, and all of our shows got canceled. So
that was tough.
Yeah,
that was a tough time.
that's how I make my money. I make my money during the summertime playing shows.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
David, he really encouraged it. It still wasn't in my mind, but he encouraged so we should have a studio and record our music, and maybe we can record for some people. And I was like, sure. I mean, we got the musicians to do it. We get, you know how to do this stuff. And we had the group of people who all knew a little bit about something to make it work, essentially,
Sounds very familiar, honestly.
So we all had our little things that we could do to make it happen. My bandmates, Kevin and Brendan, Josiah, David, myself. So we decided to just record our music originally and then open up and maybe record some other people's stuff. Mm-hmm. And what really changed it from just recording stuff to, okay, we're doing this, was we recorded a song for a guy named Brian Andrews. He is from Carrollton, Missouri.
Yep. I thought the name sounded familiar. Yeah.
Yes. So we recorded a song it was the first song in the studio. And anyways, he had made a video. This is when you could still go viral on TikTok regularly, I guess. But he made a video on TikTok, and it essentially blew up overnight of the song that we all worked on.
Yeah.
And we're talking like millions and millions of streams, within a week.
Yeah.
Where we're having to go to Nashville and talk to people about next week, and it was like it all just switched overnight.
Yeah.
It's like this is okay. So now we got to start taking this serious, not just for me, but really for Brian's sake. Now he's on a train that we got to make sure he's taken care of, and so. Yeah, and then from that point on, we just kind of built a name, of a record label, and so we just kept going with it, and we're still doing it.
If I'm correct, Better Man Records.
Yes.
Yeah, I thought so. Yeah. Now I don't know if you know, but I'd been following along with you all quite a bit. So you guys have a few artists that we've had with the Cabana out and about, like
Yes.
Howard Levinson.
Yeah, Howard. I love Howard.
Yeah, Howard's here. I'm pretty sure Derek Wayne Brown.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. There's a few rock bands in there. Who all right now do y'all, have going on?
We haven't done a lot with a lot of. I mean, I've got some friends in some rock bands.
Yeah.
Hunter's in the rock band, but
with Lifeline. Yeah.
Yeah. As far as recording goes, I haven't recorded with them yet.
Yeah.
I would say rock band, I haven't done a whole lot of those in the studio.
Okay.
But as far as like local musicians, Howard,
Yeah.
Derek Brown.
Yeah.
I've done a few Christian artists in Fayette as well.
Okay, I thought so. I thought
Christian rock bands,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, so maybe that's the correlation, but
that may have been where I was seeing it or something in there. I
Yeah.
don't know, but I'd seen something about that. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't know if you knew too. So I have a record label as well, Stick Z Records. Do you do booking with yours as well for the artists that come?
Yeah, so it depends. I try to help. I mean, that's one of those things where I personally don't have the time to sit down every day and try to book 20 people in shows all day. But what I try to do is,
believe me, that's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but if I have an artist that I work with and they say, hey, can you book me more shows? And I'm like, yeah, we'll do like a percentage agreement where I'll get a percent of the show. And I played at enough places the last 10 years where I've got places that'll they'll hire me regularly, and if I can't do it, they're the first ones to say, I'm like, hey, I can't play this show. Do you want to have this or be a replacement, or this venue needs a venue? I'll be a shoe-in for them. So
yeah, for sure.
As far as like a bunch of new places that I haven't spoken to yet, I do that a little bit, but I have my set venues that I'm usually able to help people with.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, and we've been fortunate enough to have you up there with us too. Hopefully, do more of them.
Yeah,
hopefully so. Yeah, but you got in on what was that, last year? That was last year.
Yes.
We were trying to transition the crowd up there. Seems to like they like rock and classic rock, and they love country. I mean, that's by far, hands down, probably their number one genre up there. Of course, that's small town America.
Right.
With us coming from Columbia to to there, it's a little bit different. But yeah.
Yep, I know. Small town America, they definitely like their old country and their classic rock. Yeah, I mean, I've done enough cover shows to know, and you can always tell. I do a lot of shows at the Lake of the Ozarks and a lot of places right on the water, but then I'll do also a lot of shows kind of in a podunk town, like Higbee or something, and they want their Merle, their Waylon, their, you know, that's what they want.
70s, 80s country.
Yeah.
That's probably hands down top genre up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's just how it is.
Now, you talking, you played a lot of venues and stuff. What's some real interesting places that you have played at? Because, I'm always curious at what all's out there.
Yeah. Well, I'd say, one of my favorites is the Blue Note here in Columbia. I would say, as an interesting wise, I wouldn't call it interesting, but I would call it, a stepping stone or a milestone in your career,
Yeah. That's what everybody's always after.
If you ever go down in the green room there, they've got all the signatures on the walls of people that's played there. And it's really humbling to know that you've shared the same stage as some of the people, you look up to,
Yeah.
So I really love playing there. Same thing with Rose Music Hall. Yeah. And that was just always, it's my first Preston Ary show was there.
Was it? Okay.
So,
yeah.
But as far as other places, the most interesting place and nerve-wracking place for me was probably on the columns at Mizzou.
I could see that. That'd be tough.
Yeah, we got hired to play about 45 minutes for the basketball opener.
Okay.
And so then you got most of the students there and there was probably 5,000 people there. So that was pretty nuts. And we had to learn 2 songs specifically for that. And one of them was Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh, that'd been fun, yeah.
It was fun, but we didn't get to practice it beforehand.
Yeah, that'd be tough. Yeah, I can imagine how that went. All right, guys, look.
But this goes back to how like I said, my bandmates are just phenomenal musicians.
Yeah.
So we really had to trust each other to learn the song on our own.
Yeah.
And then go play it like we learned it, like the song, and not screw it up in front of 5,000 people.
Yeah, that was fun, I'm sure. That just sounds like a wonderful time. Yeah.
I don't get too nervous much anymore, but that made me nervous. I was about to ready to throw up. I was like, I hope we don't look like idiots in front of all these people.
Is that your all's largest crowd you always played in front of? Or?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
I mean, they weren't really even there for us, but it was
Yeah, that's a pretty good sized crowd. I mean.
Yeah.
For sure.
Another good place that I've always hold dear to me was the Mid American Music Festival.
Yep.
So that was nice. Same, Travis Tritt played on that stage, later on. So that's another one of those things where it's like you feel really humbled and blessed that you get to play somewhere and then one of your icons or whatever, or someone you look up to is there later than you. So
Travis Tritt plays that gritty music too, kind of like what you guys like. You know.
Yep, was listening to him on the way here. Actually,
see, there you go. Yeah, that's perfect. What's a bucket list venue?
A bucket list venue? Well, I think everyone could probably say this. I don't know if it's ever going to happen, but I'd probably have to say Red Rocks.
Red Rock, yeah.
I mean, I see that all the time. I just think how cool that would be. I've got a lot of work to do if I'm going to be playing at Red Rocks at any time in my lifetime.
Tex Carroll?
Yeah.
I'll say he played there.
Really?
Yeah, he's got video. He's got a picture of him right there in front of it.
Wow.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I watched a live video on New Year's. We were watching Zach Bryan at the Red Rocks on the thing, and it's just so cool how they built a venue out of in a canyon.
In a canyon, yeah, that's insane, isn't it?
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
I'm sure Ryman on there. Ryman, Grand Ole Opry. Yeah.
I would like to do that. I think my chances of playing at the Ryman are probably better than the Red Rocks at this point. I at least know some people in Nashville that might be able to make it happen. You know, but once again, still a lot of work to do.
That is a lot of work for sure.
Yeah,
for sure. So, what are you listening to right now? What's your stuff that you're listening to right now?
Man. So the thing about the label and the studio is I spend a lot of time listening to music that I'm working on. So it's really easy to get out of touch with reality for a minute.
Yeah.
But right now, I would say I'm listening to I don't know. I'm still stuck on Hardy's last album from like a year and a half ago.
Okay.
I don't know. I just love it.
Yeah, I can see that.
I mean, because it's basically a rock album, essentially.
Yeah.
You know.
He played in Columbia, if I'm not mistaken, right before he blew up.
Yeah, probably. I missed it,
Yeah.
but I got to see him in St. Louis though.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that was pretty nice.
So the good thing, I don't know if you know who Jameson Rogers is.
I don't think so.
He has a song with Luke Combs called "Cold Beer Calling My Name."
Okay, I've heard it.
So,
yeah.
Anyways, I've been fortunate enough to play with him and his band for a couple times, 2 or 3 times, and it's kind of funny because I always run into these people because we've kind of become a good a team support. People, because we're good enough where people can recommend us to open up for people, you know.
Yeah.
And so, luckily, I've been able to play with him and his group a couple times. And anyways, because his guitar player ended up giving us tickets to that Hardy concert because they were opening up for Hardy that night. So
that's cool.
My wife and I went, and we had a great time.
Yeah, I can imagine up here in St. Louis. Yeah.
Except I got food poisoning from Hardee's.
Oh, did you?
Right. Right. We stopped to get Hardee's. Right. Checked in. Went to the concert at about 10:30. I was like, I don't feel very good.
Yeah.
So
did you make it through the show?
Yeah, I made it through the show. It was
struggle, I'm sure.
Yeah, I couldn't drink any beer or anything.
No.
I felt bad enough I couldn't even drink a beer for
That's
the
rough.
show.
I've been there. That's a rough day for sure, man.
So, but it was still fun.
Yeah. So with you and your band and stuff, as you know, both the solo and the band, any albums out there?
Oh yeah, I mean I've got a lot. So one of my biggest regrets for any musicians out there listening who is doing like a name change and then deleting all my music off and then just re-uploading it immediately.
Yeah,
changing my name or whatever. They completely ruined my metadata. So I had a 4-song EP out and a single. And when I got my bandmates to join me, I decided that I was going to make it Preston Ary Band.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I deleted my Preston Ary account, deleted my EP, my single, and decided I'm going to upload an album under Preston Ary Band, which is called Same Story, Different Day. And the reason it's called that is because it's the same songs that I'd had under Preston Ary, different day, you know? So, but it had a mixture of older stuff and newer stuff. So I got one album out, it's 11 songs. Actually, I got more than one album, but the first one was 11 songs.
Okay.
But let me backtrack for a second. But the reason why you don't want to delete that is it ruins your algorithm. Algorithm is really important for artists.
Yeah.
And so I had a pretty good algorithm. My EP went number 43 on the iTunes charts.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know how that happened. It was just it was a luck of the draw thing.
Take it. Yeah. Take
and so
it.
my algorithm was really good because of that. And then when I removed it and then just uploaded it, the computer doesn't know, the algorithm doesn't know that you're the same person. And it's all to put all the same followers onto your new thing. So I've had to pretty much restart.
Yeah, rebrand, restart everything.
Yeah.
Jeez.
And to an extent, it's okay, but it's made things a little more difficult.
Yeah.
But so I've got one album out called Same Story, Different Day. It's got 11 songs. Then I've got a 7-song album out called HIC.
Okay.
Which stands for Here It Comes. Mm-hmm. That was an inside joke that we've had for we all would just say Here It Comes. I don't know. That's funny.
Yeah.
And that was our first album that we produced by ourselves as a band.
Okay.
So I would say I would give it about a 6.5 comparatively as to how good we can do things now.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
There's some good lyrical content on there. There's some good musical content on there. I think production wise, with it being our first whack at it, we could have done better. But so
every band grows. So there you go.
Yeah. And so got that. I'm just going to cut to the chase. I think overall I got 25 songs out.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
I got 25, and I just put out a 3-song EP.
Nice.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Yeah, promote that. Yeah. What's the name? You got a name for the EP at all, or?
Yes, the EP is called Halfway to Heaven.
Okay.
Yep.
Now I've seen I'm pretty sure a music video with that as well, or there may not have been with Halfway to Heaven, but.
Well, I have a music video for Country for Life, and that's on my old album, which is that's a really good song.
Yeah.
Probably one of my better work.
Now I watched a video last night actually of yours. It was an old video, and you'd made a comment of, man, somebody had to put that one up or something. What was that from, like way back or something?
Oh, I'm sure.
I don't know. You were walking in the streets of a city somewhere.
Oh yeah. It was Country for Life. The song's good.
Yeah.
I just don't like how. I mean, I'm always over critiquing myself, but especially as a singer, you sing different 7 years later than you did when you were younger.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, for sure.
So, but the song is good. The production's really good. I actually did that production with Kent Wells, who is he's lead guitarist for Dolly Parton and producer for Dolly Parton.
That'd be pretty cool. Yeah.
So they did a really good job.
Sure, you heard some good stories.
Oh, you know, I heard a little bit. I was still, when I was there, I was still pretty young, and we weren't quite yet where he could, you know, tell me all the debauchery stories. So he kept it pretty PG. But
did he? Yeah.
I think we've texted, you know, here and there about when I go back down there to visit, grab a beer and some dinner. So I'm sure there's more of those stories to come.
I'm sure there is, for sure.
Yeah.
Sure. So, you know, big question is, we get it from a lot of people is, how'd you decide that you wanted to become a musician?
Well, I didn't really decide that I wanted to do it. It just kind of happened.
Yeah.
For me, how it all happened, I was in high school. I'll just kind of give you how it all happened for me.
Yeah.
I was in high school, and there comes a fork in the road where you got to have a fine arts credit. And so I had the choice of either doing art history or guitars. And I really didn't care much about learning art history, so at least guitar looks kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I took guitar class, was really poor at it. I almost quit several times, and I can't read music.
Yeah.
I just couldn't read the music.
Okay, I know one note. I know how to do one.
And so we're trying to learn this, reading the notes, and I was like, I can't do it. But I can play by ear, which I didn't know that I had a good ear because music wasn't in my household growing up. So I would just memorize how the notes were on the guitar, and I'd act like I was reading it, and I would play it, you know?
Fair enough, yeah.
And got through that. Once it started clicking with me how to play, I started kind of writing my own songs, you know, high school love songs. They're terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, some of them were pretty good, but I don't know. They're kind of embarrassing looking back.
We've all been there.
Yeah. So I was writing my own songs and was having fun. And ended up when I was 20, I joined a band called Southern Edge.
Okay.
Well, I actually had one band before that. When I was still in high school, I joined a Christian rock band.
Okay.
And was with them for about a year. We only had like one gig, so it wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
And shout out to Bud, by the way. Yeah. And anyways, then I joined Southern Edge, which I'm going to shout out Gene too. And it was a Southern rock band. They were all older than me. I think they were all 45, 50, and plus, and I was 20, 21.
Yeah.
And they really kind of showed me the ropes on, just performance stuff, how to work gear, how to act. Mm-hmm. It's not about going on stage and getting hammered and trying to sing, because when you're 21 years old and you're in a bar and you're playing guitar and you look good and you're cool. Yeah. You kind of want to act like a fool sometimes.
Well, it's fun.
So
it was fun back then.
Yeah. So they did a really good job of showing me how to do things the right way. Yeah. And I was with them for, I think 4 years. They taught me a lot. And that's when I went back to school, college, and I was just too far away. I was like, guys, I can't drive 4.5 hours every weekend to come play for $100. I just can't.
Yeah.
Can't do it. So they were understanding. And then I think so this whole time I'm just learning how to playing cover songs, still writing my own songs. And in the meantime, I'm realizing that my songwriting is what I like to do. And so went to college and I graduated right before I graduated with a wildlife ecology degree.
Okay.
It was pretty much a fork in the road for me. I was like, okay, am I going to pursue a conservation route of my life with my degree, or am I going to take this passion that I have for music and songwriting? Am I going to go that way? So if I'm going to do it, I need to do it now. So that's when I chose. I'm moving to Nashville. So it's like at least I got to give it a try, because I'm going to kick myself if I don't at least give it a try. And so I went down there and was really broke the whole time.
I hear that all the time from anybody in Nashville.
Was really broke the whole time.
Yeah.
I just ended up working all the time instead of playing music, because I couldn't afford to live there.
Yeah.
And which ultimately led me back to here. But that was the long answer to your question. But I guess the short answer would be, I never really planned on being a musician. I never really wanted to do it. I just felt like it kind of was I feel like I was my purpose. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we all have a purpose, and I feel like my purpose was to do that to some degree. I still am on a journey to find out to what extent this is supposed to go. I don't really know.
Well, you're about to find out, I guess. Yeah.
I'm just along for the ride.
Yeah.
Whatever the Lord has whatever He wants me to do with whatever I got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just here for the ride for now.
Yeah. Not here for a long time, but here for a good time.
That's right.
Yeah. For sure. Well, on that note, let's take a little quick break real quick. And hear a word from our sponsor.
Well, the grass is really greener there on my side of the fence. Life was just a little sweeter where the neighbors all were friends. I won't say I don't like it here, but I'm feeling caught between the porch light and the spotlight, and a memory and a dream. I miss the sound of a rainstorm falling over hayfields, the sweet song of the crickets by the riverside, stars painted on the canvas of a midnight sky. Just like in the winter, you remember how the sun feels. I'll remember who I am until the day I die. No matter where I do my time, I'm country for life. For life.
And we're back. Usually that's Topher over here, doing that. But, unfortunately, he couldn't be here today. But anyway, we're back here with Preston Ary. What all you got going on right now? Anything big happening?
So right now, I'm really just trying to gear up for the summertime.
Yeah.
The winter time is kind of my dead time, really.
Yeah.
So as far as big events go, I don't think I have anything huge. I do have a really cool show at Marshall coming up. I think it is March 22nd. It's going to be a benefit concert to build a homeless shelter. So
Okay.
I'm excited for that. I really like helping, for causes like that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So March 22nd in Marshall, we got that. Then I believe February 22nd
Okay.
will be, so the month before, we'll be at Tucker Shuckers at the lake.
I've heard of that, yeah.
Bagnell Dam Strip there. They're doing their Mardi Gras pub crawl.
Oh, that ought to be fun.
It will definitely be fun.
Are you going to participate as well?
No, probably not.
No?
Probably not. I'm probably just going to show up, play. No, because what they do there is that the guy that he owns, Tucker Shuckers, he owns 5 or 6 other bars as well, maybe more. I don't really know.
Yeah.
And as from my understanding, they just have a shuttle and they go to all of them.
Okay.
Frankie and Louie's, Paradise, Neon Taco. So they hit all those places around the lake, and the last stop is Tucker Shuckers.
Yeah.
So
That'd be fun. You ever been when you're down there at the lake, you ever been to Charlie Foxtrot's yet?
yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was there. I used to play there when it was Lodo Lounge.
Uh-huh. Yep. Yeah.
Played there back in the day.
I remember when they had to change that name. I remember what happened on that one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. That was real interesting. Yeah.
That was a very interesting deal. We couldn't believe it because they had the sound set up, everything, and
Yeah.
so we didn't have to do anything. We show up and play, and it was fun, and everyone was nice. I think it was just one of those things. It was a
Caught somebody on the wrong day.
Yeah.
That's definitely what it was. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, any plugs, any shout outs you want to give to anybody?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out. Hang on, look at the camera here.
Yeah, that's your camera there. Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to my bandmates, Kevin and Brendan, Josiah. I want to give a shout out to Dave, Gene, my old band. I want to give a shout out to my wife, Elizabeth, who's patiently waiting on me, and my son, Ace.
Yeah.
And I just want to shout out to all you that's been listening to my music. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Had someone at Walmart yesterday tell me that I was the second most streamed artist on their Spotify. So thank you for that. Yeah, that was, I was not expecting that. So I just want to thank pretty much just everyone who's been supporting me. I want to thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Thank
our
you.
Pleasure. Yeah.
It's been,
Believe me, it's our pleasure.
Yeah, so I'm happy to be here.
Yeah,
So.
there we go. Well, Preston, it's definitely been nice having you here on the show with us, man. Tell everybody how they can get a hold of you real quick.
Yeah, so you can get a hold of me. My email is prestonary369@gmail.com. It's my personal. So there you go. Maybe that was a bad idea.
It'll be okay.
It's okay. And then Better Man Records, if you're interested in production or anything like that, Better Man Records or live music stuff, Preston Ary Band. You can reach me on Facebook, Instagram, anything like that. So just type my name, Preston Ary. It's not too hard to find me.
There we go. Well, folks, you heard it from Preston himself. Till next time.